Hi everyone, today I'm going to be talking about Advent of Code 2020, Day 8. We are asked to execute instructions for a handheld video game console program. And the program has three types of instructions: NOP, which does nothing, just goes to the next line in the program; ACC, which accumulates some global accumulator; and JMP, which skips a bunch of instructions and goes to the next, like some provided line. We're asked to calculate the value of the accumulator, and the code terminates after one loop iteration. So basically, once we hit the same line a second time, we're in a loop, and we need to, our program is just going to loop forever. So we're just going to stop the program. Okay. So to keep track of when we are in a loop, like once we have hit the same line twice, we can keep track of whether we have visited each line. And we need our global accumulator, which is 0. And we need the current index. Maybe I'll add that here actually. Also initially 0, the first line of the program. So the command will be r_of_index. Actually, before we do that, we can just check if the index is in visited. Then we're done. So we can just return the accumulator. This means that we are looping. So the command will be r_of_index, which will be something like this. And then we can get the action and the value. The action would be like NOP or ACC or JMP, and the value would be like +1 or +4 or something like that. Actually, if the action is NOP or ACC, the index will actually increase by 1 in both of those cases. But if the action is ACC, we also have to update the accumulator. However you want to think about this. And if the action is jump, then we need to, the index will jump like to some other line, basically. And if we get here, I mean, this should never happen, because we know, like, the problem tells us that it will loop, so we will just always get here. It won't loop forever. Like this while true will end because we will end up visiting the same line twice. Okay, so for part 2, we are asked to change one line of code to prevent this loop. So we don't want to encounter the same line twice. So the strategy will be to change a JMP command to a NOP command. So let's do this. So let's figure out all of the lines where there is a JMP command. So for example, this would be like this one, this one, this one. These are the ones that we should try changing. So I'm just going to call this JMP indexes. So it's just going to be all of the indexes where we where the command is equal to JMP, basically. Okay, so for each of these indexes, we're going to replace JMP with NOP. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, And then I want to know, given this array, where do I end up repeating the same line or not? Okay, so I'm going to actually, so if we look at solution 1, I'm just going to copy this code actually and put it into a new function. Maybe I'll call it find ending index. And so here, rather than returning ACC, I'm going to return the ending index. And I'm going to add another condition here. If index is equal to the length of the array, return index. So this will tell us, and like if this happens, then that means that we got to the last line of the program, which is exactly what we want to do. And if this happens, that means that we're looping. So this will not be what we're looking for. We want this to happen. So I'm going to do ending index, let's call it, or end index is equal to find ending index for our array. And if this end index is equal to the length of the array, then this JMP index to, like, JMP to NOP was a good change. So we have found the correct index. So we can just go ahead and calculate the accumulator. I don't have a function for this. This is actually just part 1. So we can just do like whatever we wrote in solution 1 is the same thing. Okay. And what else do we have to consider? So, right, so if this did not happen, then that means that the change we made was no good, so we should like revert the change. We're changing it back, undo. We're reverting, we're going to try the next one. And so eventually one of these changes will fix the program, and we will eventually, so once it fixes the program, we're going to calculate what was the accumulator for the array after making that one-line code change. So this won't happen. This would only happen if we try all of these things and none of them fix the problem. Okay, so that's it for day 8. Thanks for watching.